Hi Lisa, so I'm just having a very quick look at your website and I can see you've worked really hard on it and parts of it I love and a few parts I'm like, oh, I think that could do with tweaking. So let's go through it. So first of all, you can see this is the first impression I see of your website when I land on your homepage and there's a lot of white. I want to see far more of your pictures. I know you've got this slider going on, but I want to see far more of your pictures higher up. And one thing I want to change is the size of your logo here. So what I want to do is I noticed that you've got this custom CSS here. If we change that, I'm just going to change it to 120 for the minute. I'm going to wait a second while my internet catches up with me. Come on. I'm watching the little curly thing up in the corner go around. Curly thing? That's a technical term, that. Okay, so we're still waiting. Right, there we go. Right, so now I'm going to refresh this page. Now I know you're going to lose the tagline. I know that made with love for the ones that you love is going to not be readable, but the space that you're using up on the page is far more important. I would rather you use that somewhere else. You could even change it so that that's your tagline here rather than saying welcome to mobile lampshades. I mean, you could delete it off there if you really wanted to, or you can just leave it there, but you can easily do that. Okay, so that's a start. We've shifted everything up just a little bit. Also, these words are not the most important thing here. Again, I would change that or hide that. We've got two different ways we can hide that. I know it's your page title. Two different ways we can hide it. We can go back to your custom CSS and in here, put in page title, display none. And then let's see if that works some magic as well. And it's all space saving as well because it's not really doing a job there, but it does mean it will hide it off every single page. It isn't kind of just the home page that will affect it. That's every single page. It will lose that page title, which is fine. There you go. So it just shifts everything up just a little bit again. Now, what I want to do now is rather than mess with your home page at all. So basically, I will put this back, or will I? What I might do is I might copy the CSS code and message you that and reset it back. So you've got it as it was, but if you want to, you can just cut and paste it back in if there's anything I've done that you like. Okay, what I also want to do now is I'm going to create a new page, a completely different page. I want to show you how it could look as your home page. So I've already created it. I've called it Nicola Video Page. If I open it up in a new tab, you can see it's completely and utterly blank. Okay, there's nothing there other than your basic information that's already standard on the page, and that's absolutely fine. So what I want to do is I want to try using some columns. So if you see here, you've got the Woo Themes short code. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go to column layout. Now these aren't always perfect, so bear with me. I'm going to go 3 columns. Now what you can do is you click on what you want. So you could have it in thirds, or you can have a third and 2/3, or you can have 3/3, or you can have, well, you can't have any really other combinations. You can see different sizes. You can choose different things. So I'm going to pick 3 like that, and I'm going to insert that. Now what it does is it puts in the short codes, and you basically put your content in between them like this. So that's the open the column, that's the close column 1, that's open column, that's close it, that's open column, that's close it. So that little backslash is always to close. So what I want to do is I'm going to delete that. I'm going to randomly add some of your photos. You would choose this in a far more structured way because you would think about what it is that you're putting on, whereas I'm just going to have a look randomly and select the ones that I like. So I know I love him, but he's not going to go on this side. I want to start with a strong lampshade image. So decisions. Now at this point you'd also think about, do you sell more girls or boys? Which are the most popular? Who's more likely to buy for? What's your most popular seller? What I haven't done is we haven't sized any of your images, so as you can see they're all slightly different sizes. So I could do with finding, that's a big image. You really don't want it on that size on there. It's not too bad on size wise there, but you can make it smaller. And again, you can see how they're all different. So actually, I'm going to take back a step here. Right, let's pick 3 random images. So I'm going to pop that one in there. You can see the size is huge. So I'm going to go to edit. We definitely don't want it that big. So I'm just going to, this is just to start to get a feel. And what we're going to do is we're ultimately going to link these to the custom URL, but because this isn't the right image at the moment, because I'm going to crop them and play with them a little bit first, just to show you, we will be doing that and then linking it to a page. Okay, so, oops, I didn't say the size, did I? Let's do the size, just because I don't want it to overwhelm the page. Right, I'm going to stick another image in here. Let's pick that one. Thinking about it. Or is it? Yes, there it is. We got there. And again, I'm going to just take it down to the medium size. That's really just because it's overwhelming the page at the moment because it's so big. And then where this last section is, delete that again, and we can, oh, decisions. Let's do that one. Right, part of the reason I've done this is just to show you, in part because it's also going to enable me to be able to save, so you can and also see the difference as to what I do. So while that's doing that, I'm going to open up PicMonkey. Now, when you're doing something like this, you need to decide your sizes. I'm doing 3 columns. I'm going to say, let's do 350 by 350 square on the front page. So you need that consistent sizing. So your photos are never going to be perfect on this. Now, if we just refresh and have a look at the page as it currently stands, we've put those photos into 3 columns, and let's see what it does. There you go. So it's resized them into those 3 columns, but you can see what I mean, that they're all different sizes at the moment. And actually what we want is we want them to be the same size square all the way across. So I'm going to go save image as. Oh, my computer's on a slow. Right, I'm going to go to Dropbox. I'm going to create a new folder just for you. So much in here. I have so much stuff in here. Did it do me there? Let's do one. Right. I had to check it was empty. I've got a habit of keeping folders called new folders. So I'm going to rename, and I'm going to call it Lisa Homepage Images. So I've got a chance of remembering what they are. Okay. It moved it. Where did it move it to? I now can't see it. Where is it? It's there. Same place, just me not seeing it. So I'm not worried about what the names are called. That's not what I'm looking for, but I'm now going to save that one into the same place. I'm going to save that one. Now you've got to remember these are now promo images. That's what we're going to turn them into. We're not going to use, they're not the same photo that's appearing on the product page. We're going to use them as new images. So let's go back to the beginning of Dropbox, and we want Lisa homepage. Let's start with him because I think he is super, super cute. So I'm annoyed now. Didn't think about that. It was only going to save it as a smaller image. I'm going to go through all that again. I think I'm mad. I am a little. It would be far better if my computer wasn't on such a go slow. Right. Let's go full size. So it's going to look really, really. In fact, it'll probably resize it anyway, and you'll probably wonder why I'm going through all this effort. But you don't want images that are a silly, silly size on your website, because you're just going to fill up your website and slow it right down. So if someone's got slow broadband like I have at the moment, it takes longer and longer for the images to come up. Do. And also it's easier to work. You can see what you're doing more sometimes on some of the pages. You saw by the fact that I made them medium size. But if you've got them as a set size, it's the square really that we want to be the same. So if we do that and we update, I'm going to save, refresh this page. Once it's done, and save as again. In fact, I'm going to pause for a second because you don't need to wait while I do this. All I'm going to do is resave your images. Back in a second. Okay, so I resized all the images back to full size, and I'm now on the page. You can see actually your website looks exactly the same because your website knows to squash it into 3 columns across. That's how it's responding to it. That's what it's doing. But you can see it doesn't need the images to be that size. But you can see it's bigger now. I've opened up the new one, so I've now got your full size image. So what I want to do now is I'm going to play with the crop. Let's have a look. I'm going to guess 350 is the size I want to be. So you can see it's a little bit big at the moment, but actually that's quite cute at the same time. So maybe let's go to 400. I'd like to get his feet in. I would like to get his feet in. So let's see where we get to with that. And that gives me 539. So if I go to 539 square, because you can see I'm desperate for my square. I'm not worried that I don't have the whole of him on. I actually like him kind of off center as well. You can change your mind. You can do this any way that you want to. So you can see that it's now a promo image. Okay. So what else do I want to do? I'm going to quickly sharpen it. I know he's sharp, but it just makes the tiniest of difference. I'm going to up the clarity just a little bit. Even if you've got good photos, you really should be doing this just a tiny amount. So we'll apply. I'm going to go to the exposure and I'm going to make it a little bit brighter. Up the contrast just a little bit. Down the shadows just to make sure we try and keep the colours right, and up the highlights as well. You can see here I've started to go a little bit too much because we have just lost a little bit too much of the information there. It's all gone a bit might just have to be one that I put up with for now. What I'm really trying to do is I really want to get this background a little bit whiter, but you can see that's not really going to happen. Okay. I'm looking and wondering whether it's worth trying to go around the edge of him, but I don't think it is. I'll do it just as a test, but I've got a feeling I'm not going to be leaving it like this. I'm going to soft on the brush size up, because I've cropped him so close to the edge. It's hard to do. Remember, this is a home page image that we're working on. It's not the product image. It's not the image that's going to go with the product. The product is, you've already got that image. This is creating a special image just for the home page. You can see I'm finding it hard here to go do one. I like, oops, I'm going on that one. Just the very edge. That's all I want to take it away, is the very edge there. I'm not convinced yet, so bear with me. It's really just minimising the distractions. I don't want to go all the way up. Lost his arm a little bit there. Let's apply it. Okay, now the only way really to know is to go back to as it was. And like that. What do you think? No, I didn't think I would. I'm going to keep that little background in. Right, that's the last one. So I'm going to now go back to here and I'm going to resize. I'm going to resize it to, let's go to 400, because I don't believe we're going to need this to be any bigger than that. So I'm going to click apply. I'm going to click save, and I'm just going to call it square. As you can see, the file size is tiny. I mean, you can look to see if it makes any difference here as to what you're seeing and what you're saving, but I think that's fine. We want to keep that image as small as possible. Now, this is where I'm now going to go, I'm just going to go to canvas color and make it white. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the butterfly symbol. This means I'm not messing around with the image size. I know it's going to be the same. I'm going to add on, that one is the full size version. And I'm going to go, whoa, and just drag it until it fills that space, really. Now, the downside of doing this is I can't actually do the sharpen. But let's see if it works before we worry. So that's really what I'm thinking of. But actually, I don't think that's the right image to use, because if you're looking at this, it looks like there's movement on that, which basically means it was moving when you took the photograph, and your shutter speed was slow and picked up the movement. So I don't think I'm going to be able to use that image. Okay, so let's go back to here. I'm going to delete that one. Yep, that's where it goes. It's in the right place, and look for one of your other images instead. I'm picky when it comes to photos. You know that I am, and your photos do concern me. That's one of the concerns I do have, that actually all your website really needs is super sharp, clear photos, and I just want to see if we can make a difference to some of them. I love the way you've taken this with the lampshade, but the background's wrong, so I'm not going to choose that one. The colours aren't shouting to me personally on that one, which is why I'm not doing that one. Is that one sharp? Oh, it's not very big though. But actually, just something as cute as that might work. But I'm thinking of using these ones afterwards. But you've got to remember, this is all about just giving that impression and giving that feel. Just try that one. Thinking about it. I think this is a combination of your images are quite big and my broadband is a little bit slow. Oh, can you see how blurry that is? Can you see that that's not sharp? I can't use that on your homepage. I'm not sure I would use that anywhere on a website, to be honest, but definitely not on your homepage. Let's try that one, because that's just a different version of the one from before. Photos are your top priority. Your photos really, really do need. I'm sorry. Now, can you see on this one, can you see this little line of shadow underneath? That is movement. That's either the camera's moved, or the mobile's moving, and at the point the shutter goes, it's seeing that movement, so it's leaving the image behind, if you like, as where it's just come from, and that's why it's not quite pin sharp. I'm going to try using that one. It's not right. You're going to need to redo some of these. I am sorry. I know you struggle with your photos. I know you find these really, really frustrating, but they're super, super important. Right, did that change? Oh, I'm used to everything just happening so quickly. This is really frustrating. Come on, website, come back to me. Right, okay. So let's save the image. Right, the other thing you need to do, if you look at the names of your images here, oh, I would, that isn't the right thing, is it? But if you save images, that's what I want. Your image needs to be the product name. It will really help with your SEO. I'll show you that again in a minute. Right, so what I'm actually going to do, and I'm going to break my own rule here, I'm going to open up the product new rather than just go over, because I do need to tweak it and I do need to mess with it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crop it so it's square. Let's try that too. And reposition it. Okay, it's not. That's not so bad. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try the sharpen. Okay. You can see this little shadow underneath, which is the one that I'm talking about. Let's see what we can do with it, if anything. And bring the clarity up. Right, what I also want to do is the exposure. I'm going to brighten it. I'm actually brightening that quite a lot. I'm going to bulk the exposure. Drop the shadows. Bring the highlights up just, not that much. This isn't a product picture, remember. I know it's similar to a product picture and it will be seen, but it isn't the same. It isn't kind of, it has to be exact. It is the reason you want people to click on things. It's like that, and no, it's like that. I think that's a lot brighter and a lot nicer. Again, I could be tempted with the just very if this was a perfect photograph, then I might worry about it and do it, but it isn't. So on all levels, that's wrong because it covers up the product, but it actually really helps here stand out. It actually gives the feel of a light bulb above to me, which I know isn't quite right, but it does somehow. How bizarre, I quite like that. I'm not going to use it, but I do quite like that. Oh, excuse me, I've got a sneeze. I'm going to pause. Sorry about that, and I'm back. So let's go back to where we were and see what it was like. It isn't right. It's not the final image anyway, and I do prefer it with the white. So I just want to show, do it that way. It's not ideal. Square is what we want to put on the end. It's not ideal, and I know it's not ideal, but hopefully it'll give you a little bit of an idea. What's the next one? That's the cushion. Okay, right. So, in fact, no, let's behave. Don't save. Let's do it all the way through because that one does need a little bit of sharpening as well. So again, hopefully you can see that it's just not quite pin sharp. Beautiful photograph, just not quite pin sharp. But what we can do is we can improve that just a little bit. Okay, so let's show you it before. That was before and that's after. So you can just see it's round here. It just clarifies it. You can't take it too far. But you can just make that little bit of a difference. Exposure up, contrast up, brightness down, gone a bit far on that as well, a bit heavy-handed today. Brightness up and shadows down. Let's apply and see what we think. Okay, right, so we still need to go back to that square, don't we? Which is why I'm also not worrying about the fact that this corner has been bleached out too much because I'm playing. I like playing, as you can probably tell. Right, remember this is the homepage picture, so I know I've cropped the corner off, but I quite like that because I do want to keep the bed in as well. I'm going to resize it down to 400 square. I think I forgot with the last one, but we won't worry. Click save, save, and square. Now you probably think I'm going to quite a lot of faff here to do for every single photo, and it is, but it isn't. So let me show you what I'm now going to do. So actually the first thing I'm going to do is cushions. Is he for sale? He's not there. Where will I find him? Can't have a photo on your website. It's not for sale. I'm assuming he's not coming under lavender bags. Not coming under cushions. He's not going to come into garlands, obviously, but I'm looking anyway just to make sure that he's not hiding. It is not a lampshade. Oh, you're testing me now. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose just to send that to just to show you really how it works. I'm going to send it to that page, so it would open. If anybody clicks his link, it's going to come to that page. Ideally, you can either use it as a category, so you show all the options that are here, or you can send it to the individual product page. I'm copying that link now just so I'm ready to use it. Okay, so I'm going to add media. I'm going to upload now. I do apologise, you might have to delete some. Actually, let's be sensible and put the cushion picture there, because obviously we're linking to cushions. I'm just thinking about it. Right, now what we can do, what I'm going to do is I want you to change the name here. So we're going to put, oops, mobile lamp shade cushions. Let's put nursery cushions. So yeah, so that you would copy and paste into here. But before I do that, because I've copied and pasted the other link, I'm going to change that to say custom URL and paste. And now I'm going to copy that one in, just so I don't lose that link. Okay, I'm going to insert into page. It's thinking about it again. Right, so there we go. Right, so now I'm going to do here. Let's do the mobiles page. Now what you can do, if you choose, is you can, while you're in PicMonkey here, use the text tool, pick a font, and you can try cushions, whatever it is that you want to, in, yeah, over the top, and make it big. You probably want your colour really, wouldn't you? I don't know your colour. I'm not going to find it. I've got no chance of finding it like that if I randomly dragging it along. Oops, got a fade on. Didn't mean to put a fade on. But somehow you could do that. Now, if it's not showing up enough, then you go to your butterfly, you use the geometric, you pick a shape that suits you. Draw it over the top. And again, you might choose your colour. What's your colour? Colour's gone. It's like lighter green. Not right, but hey, you get the idea. I'm going to send that backwards. I've just right clicked to get the option up for that. And then if you fade, you still get a bit of the cushion behind and you get that. So you could use that as your image instead of just having the cushion, okay? Because obviously I'm just using the cushion, so naturally it would probably be best to link straight to the product picture, but like that you turn it into a category picture. I'm not going to faff any more with what I've done though, so just trying to show that option there. So let's go add media. I'm going to upload again, select file. You can see because I've done the 3 images all together, it is easier just to pick up. Okay, it's not the right page to link to, and of course you need to do the right pages. I'm going to copy and I'm going to go back to my page. And what I'm going to do, that custom URL, drop downs now there, and I'm going to do, again, mobile shades, cute cushion, children's nursery. So it's just helping with the search terms really. So we're going to insert that one into there. Okay, I'm going to delete that one, and we're going to add media, and we're going to upload, and we're going to go with that one, that's the square. I might change some images around here. Right, I've still actually got that saved from last time, so instead of cushion, mobile, copy and do, and I'm just going to pick your home page to copy to there, just so it is a link really. So custom URL. Oops, see, didn't resize that one. Okay, and now I'm going to update that. So now these images not only look pretty, but they're now becoming the links that people can click through to go through your website. Okay, so if you think of your website as rows and think about what you want to put into the rows, you can get all these photos done in one go. And actually, it's taking longer to explain it than it would be to do it, because you wouldn't have to be saving all your images for a start. Oh, for some reason, that one didn't want to show. Wonder what happened to him. Let's add him back in again. And do it. Now all the information should still be there. Nope, the page isn't, so let's get Control V, insert into page and up. Ah, that's why, look, I'm pressing update before it's got there. You can tell I'm used to speedier internet. So I've done exactly the same again. It's gone because I'd clicked update before the image made it. Yeah, my fault. Right, we'll just do that one more time. I'll wait this time, I'll be patient. Not very patient. Look at how long this video's been as well to show you this, and part of that is how slow my broadband is. I didn't put the link in. Pretend I have. Right, so updated this time. Okay, right. So now we can, there we go. So you're starting to see that you're doing how it's working, that you've got these three in. Now you can see that actually that white doesn't work because the others aren't. But it gives you an idea. But what we can also try and do is we can also drag him to there and drag that one to there. Remember, that's the end. The slash means the end. So that will make a little bit more sense with the white around. Not a lot, but a little bit. But I think if you have a few rows of these, I'm going to nip here and go to your proper home page in a second. So there you go. It looks slightly better with it in the middle. It's not right, but it looks slightly better. Sorry, dodgy photo in the middle, but you can see how bright and colourful these ones that somebody comes on and straight away it's a children's website. It's for children. It's attractive to children. You've got blues, which you can put in the boys. You've got the pinks for girly, and you've got this, which can be either or really, and fit in anywhere. But you're starting to get this feel that somebody, as soon as they land on the page, knows exactly what they're here for. Whereas here, particularly these images, because they're not strong images, they're not helping your cause. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to come to here now. I'm just going to go underneath and put that back in underneath. I'm not going to worry about what the font is. I'm then actually going to copy and paste this just so you get the idea of what we're doing. I need to make sure I get the beginning of that column in. And so you can put another row in underneath, and then if we edit your page, I'm going to steal your code. Rather than rewriting it, I'm going to steal your code just to quickly show you. So I'm going to steal that one. I'm going to put that at the bottom. Not the bottom, but there as it falls. And I'm also going to use your cycloner. Right, one of the reasons I'm not convinced on your cyclone slider is because it's not full width, and at the moment the current in fashion really is full width. But I'm going to show you what it looks like putting it here, and it doesn't have to go at the top of the page. Okay, imagine that we've put some extra products in here, that we've put some different ones in. Okay, so I'm really just trying to now speed up to show you. So each row could be a different theme. It could be a different kind of product. So you could have a row of 3 cushions. You can have a row of 3 mobiles, a row of 3 lampshades. It's up to you how you lay this out. I'm really just trying to show you how the rows can help and work, pull it all together. And again, mix it up with information in between. Okay, so that hasn't, I've got to centre that. The anal part of me's got to centre that. So I'm going to format, so I'm going to go to heading 1. Might be a little bit big like that, but let's see. Heading 1 just means it'll pick up anything that you've set that the heading will look like. So this is heading 1, it'll pick up the formatting that you've set for heading 1 in your website. Oh, that's automatically set by the theme, depending on how it works. Okay, so you can see, so what have we done? We made the logo just a little bit smaller, so it's less in your face, it's taking up less room up here. And then I've put your photos prominent here. I wanted the bright, the colourful, the sharp images. I wanted to pick the choice of colours, so you're getting that real feel for what's going on your website. Then it was, there were some words underneath. We've taken them away from the top. If I go back to your page, I mean, I know I've spent over half an hour on this, but actually it isn't a huge amount of work. And then you'd have different products underneath, different images. And then you can use your featured products as well, which means they're really super easy to change because you just change what your products are. But can you see the difference there between the types of images that I've used and how I've cropped them and how they look on your homepage? Okay. I've messed this one up by losing the white on the edge, but you can see how much stronger the colours are by doing those tweaks in PicMonkey. And also by cropping them. It doesn't matter that we've just lost the edge of the cushion here, because we know it's a cushion, it's got the seam. It doesn't matter we've lost his arm. It's cropping and using them on your home page. Now, obviously, when you use the categories, you get this information underneath as well. So be careful about what you're selecting here and make that really strong so people want to click. I would do as I've done here and do that instead and use that here. So you're using them to pull in the categories. So you're not completely covering the photo up. So it might be that you cover this bit up here, and or you just careful cover his feet to cover the bottom. If that was full width, then I think it would work, but I don't think it does work. So I'm actually going to go and delete that off for the moment. It's probably the thing you've spent the longest on as well, and I do apologise. But sometimes things, you have to try things to know if they're going to work. Now, actually, I say that doesn't work. They're going to let me Control Z that and bring it back. Have I still got it as a... No, I've got another row of that. Right, actually I do want to show you how you could use it. I've just had a thought about how you could use it with the columns. So if we go to edit page, what we could do... I thought I saw it then. Did I see it? No, I'm going mad. So what you could do, say, here, is we can use these short codes. Do you remember that you could have different columns? So if we want to have 3 columns, and we want to have a 2, and we want to have a 1. So we've got 2/3. The 2/3 could be your slider. Okay, so if we do that, what we're going to do is going to go back to your page. I'm going to copy that short code again. I'm going to pop it in between here, and then in I'm stealing that text just for the ease of not having to type something up, but I am going to resize that. I just like to tidy it behind myself and then go update. Now, the hard part here is deciding what's going where and doing that. I'm literally just trying to throw it on so you can see how you could make it look different. Oh, my speaker's picking me up. And how you can use your images, because your images are your strength. I mean, that owl is absolutely gorgeous. This cushion is everything you make is gorgeous. It's just having the strong images. Right, so you can see that suddenly this over here, and you can fill this in full of useful information. Absolutely jam-pack it full of information, and then go back to even your categories underneath. Or you could just have more featured images and featured products underneath, so they actually become for sale then. But you're really helping people go, oh, I want that. And when they say I want that, they click on it and it should go to the page we've linked it to. Now, this isn't exactly the right page. You might want to link to the particular product or use it as categories, but it links back. I obviously forgot the links on both of those. But the other thing you've got, obviously, is then, because you've set this up with Pinterest as well, someone can just click that pin, as I'm going to do now, and it's linking to my, because I'm already logged in. Where's the best place to put you? Talented Handcrafters. Ah, it's because of this. So if your website was finished, that would automatically have pinned. It's just because of that URL. Okay, so I'm going to leave that website. Now all you have to do is change the images in between. Just make sure you leave these bits alone. So in the square brackets, just the text opens it. The backward slash and the same text then closes it is the way that it works. So you put your images in between. Don't forget to do your custom links. So if you forget, you just go to click edit. Very long video. I apologize how long this video is. And you can do link to custom URL. Okay, that didn't save the URL because it isn't a URL last, but you get the idea. Yeah, and now that will link to your homepage. Obviously, when you're all done and finished, that bit would sort itself out. Okay, so that would be my advice really, is that just to get your photos brighter and stronger on your homepage, and then you can add in this bit of information here and to use those columns really, and to bring those columns into play. I mean, you've got all the information here that you need. I mean, you might want to just, in this section, where are we? Here, you might want to go, you might want to just use it as a place where you cover all the objections. And if you've got any testimonials, you could put a testimonial here. Your mobile really, and you don't make these up, I'm making it up just to show you. Touch to my new baby girls nursery. Thank you so much. Exactly what I was looking for. Okay. Oops, I can't even spell my own name. How daft is that? I mean, you can even there go to add media. I'm not saying this is the right place to do this, really just trying to kind of demonstrate another option as it came into my head. The one I want to use is that one again. Let's use that one for the moment. So I'm going to search into page. I'm going to make that absolutely tiny. Even that's not, I'm going to go. Because really it's just there to sort of kind of link it for us what the product is. Let's see what that's done. I've either messed it up completely or it's going to look amazing. But just remember, that's inside that column. Now, it gets a little bit confusing working inside those columns, I will admit. If so, don't try and put too much into them, just because you'll drive yourself potty. Right, there you go, but you can see how it's starting to fill up. Again, it's not necessarily the best place to do it, but you might want a couple of one big image and then have that so it's static. Well, as you want to, really. But you can see how it starts to then come together and starts to fill up. Right, I'm leaving you there because I think that will make a massive difference to your website. I mean, you're right, your product's in the right place. I mean, I haven't tested anything to see if it works through, but tweak your photographs. I mean, your photos make a massive, massive difference. And at the moment, you can just see that on the homepage, that looks such a much stronger image than it does there. But it's a gorgeous image. The photograph itself is beautiful. I far prefer this with the slight jaunty, natural look to that one, where it's just on a plain background. This is ideal. Your related products are coming up, which is great. I'm hoping this is recorded and I'm not just looking at a blank screen of me all the way through. Yeah, it works. It's absolutely fine. For me, it's your photos. And don't be afraid to use PicMonkey to edit them as well and to bring them to life, and to not just use your standard photos on your homepage. I just wondered why it's gone back to looking like that, and I've just realised it's because I clicked homepage, not Nicola video page. Okay. So there you go, that's me and how I would do it, but obviously you would need to replace these images with different ones and link them back to your pages. But the pages you've got are great. You might want to put a free delivery box here, and the free delivery box you link to the delivery information. You don't have to just use products, you can put the other ones in as well. And also you subscribe. Let's have a look. I'm trying to be quick now and speed up. Have you spotted it's taken me that long so far to do this? Right, this page does need something adding to it. It really does, but you need to do that. But that, get rid of that. Trying to think if I've got an image that works with subscribe, and I haven't. That many images. I can't remember what I've got. You've probably seen most of these at various points. I mean, okay, ignore the red sentence. But even just doing something with subscribe here and using that as one of your images, one of your square images on your page could work. It throws it up, it breaks it up. You can have it here, you can have it here. I have a natural affinity to put that on the right hand side. Anyway, I think I've shown you enough. I think I've waffled on for long enough and you've got other things to do. I'm going to leave that on your website. What I am going to do is if you want me to change back and change your logo back and change your page back, tell me. I'm going to leave it as it is just so you can see what I've done on the website. All I did, just so you know, it was in your general settings. The only change I made is I made that 120 instead of 180. And in the same box, page title display, none is the bit that takes the page away. So if you delete that and save, that will put the page title back if that's what you want. Okay. Stuck on that at all, shout me. I will happily put that back. But I hope that's helped a little bit, and I hope you've seen how you could pull that together, and with a few of the right photos, and sharp with a little bit of sharpening and brightening and just bringing them to life really, you're going to have an amazing website. Okay, speak soon.